On that day, Deborah and Barak, son of Abinoam, how do you pronounce that? That's a tough one, sang this song. When the princes in Israel take the lead, when the people willingly offer themselves, praise the Lord. When they finally do something, right, in other words, when they finally get off their butts and actually do something. Hear this, you kings. Listen, you rulers. I will sing to the Lord. I will sing. I will make music to the Lord, the God of Israel. O Lord, when you went out from Seir, now that's down in Edom. So they're referring to God coming out of Edom or that area somehow. Something to do with where Mount Sinai was. I don't know exactly where Mount Sinai was. But the picture that's being painted is that it's somewhere near the territory of Edom. The Israelites came up out of the south to go north to Israel. And they originally, back in Numbers, were going to pass through Edom to get there. And the Edomites didn't allow them to. So there's something about marching out of Edom to get to Israel that's being communicated here. When you went out from Seir, when you marched in the land of Edom, the earth shook. The heavens poured, so earthquake and a rainstorm. The clouds poured down water. The mountains quaked before the... By the way, I should also say, as far as songs go, I'm not going to be singing these songs, all right? We can, not so much this one maybe, but a lot of the songs, a lot of the Psalms, for instance, have English songs that have been written about them, or based on them, written that are based on them, taking verses from them. I'm not going to sing them, okay? You're not going to get any singing from me. You probably should. I mean, these are meant to be sung. These are songs that are meant to be sung. They said in verse 1 that they sang this song. So these are songs that are meant to be sung. I don't know what melody they sang this to. I have no idea. But these songs were meant to be sung. So you probably should in order to get the full meaning out of it, but I'm not going to do it. Another area that I'm weak in when it comes to these songs. The mountains quaked before the Lord, the one of Sinai, before the Lord, the God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, son of Anath, remember that guy? In the days of Jael, the roads were abandoned. Travelers took to winding paths. Jael, of course, being the lady who killed Sisera. Village life in Israel ceased. Ceased until I, or you, Deborah, arose. Arose a mother in Israel. So for some time, things had been turbulent. The roads had been abandoned. We had to take the winding paths to get around. We couldn't take the direct highways. I guess because the enemies are blocking us. I'm not sure exactly. Someone had to come along and do something, and it was a woman who did. It was Deborah. When they chose new gods, war, that'd be the people of Israel who adopted the Canaanite practices. War came to the city gates, and not a shield or a spear was seen among 40,000 in Israel. My heart is with Israel's princes, with the willing volunteers among the people. Praise the Lord. So the people, the men of Israel, were not willing to fight for their freedom. A few of them were, though, and for those who were, Deborah praises them, praises the Lord for them. You who ride on white donkeys, sitting on your saddle blankets, and you who walk along the road, consider the voice of the singers at the watering places. They recite the righteous acts of the Lord, the righteous acts of his warriors in Israel. Then the people of the Lord went down to the city gates. Wake up, Deborah. Wake up, break out in song. Arise, O Barak. Take captive your captives, O son of Abinoam. So get moving, get started. Wake up, get going. Do something finally. Then the men who were left came down to the nobles. The people of the Lord came to me with the mighty. Some came from Ephraim, whose roots were in Amalek. I'm not entirely certain what that means. There's some controversy over that verse. Benjamin was with the people. She's listing off the people who came to help in the fight, or some of them who didn't. Some of the tribes did not answer the call. Benjamin was with the people who followed you. So Ephraim and Benjamin came. From Machir, that's Manasseh, captains came down. From Zebulun, those who bear commander's staff. So Ephraim, Benjamin, Manasseh, and Zebulun all came. They were all there. The princes of Issachar were with Deborah. Yes, Issachar was with Barak, rushing after him into the valley. Now, back when Deborah gave Barak the command to go, in the word of the Lord, the command was to take 10,000 men of Naphtali and Zebulun. We didn't read about those other groups, but some of them did. Some of them were there. Some of those other tribes had representatives there too. However, not all of them did. In the districts of Reuben, remember Reuben is east of the Jordan, there was much searching at heart. So they thought about it. They considered it. Why did you stay among the campfires to hear the whistling for the flocks? In the districts of Reuben, there was much searching at heart. So Reuben thought about going, but they decided not to go. And she's asking them why. Why didn't you come? Gilead stayed, that's Gad, stayed behind the Jordan. So the Reuben and Gilead, which are on the east side of the Jordan, stayed there. They did not come to help. And Dan, why did he linger by the ships? Dan has territory, a sliver of territory on the coast of Israel, north of Judah, and he didn't come to the battle either. Asher, who was also on the coast, remained on the coast and stayed in his coves. The people of Zebulun, probably because economically they may have had too much to risk by losing, too much to risk losing by going up against the commander of Hazor. It's possible. The people of Zebulun risked their very lives. So did Naphtali on the heights of the field. Kings came, they fought. The kings of Canaan fought. At Tanakh by the waters of Megiddo. But they carried off no silver, no plunder. From the heavens the stars fought. From their courses they fought against Sisera. The river Kishon swept them away. That age-old river, the river Kishon. March on, my soul, be strong. Then thundered the horses' hoofs. Galloping, galloping go his mighty steeds. So there was a thunderstorm that swept away the chariots that were in the river Kishon. Curse Meroz, says the angel of the Lord. Curse its people bitterly, because they did not come to help the Lord against the mighty. I do not know what Meroz is. We already read about some of the tribes that didn't go to help the battle. Meroz apparently didn't either, but I don't know what Meroz is. Or Meroz. How do you pronounce that? I have no idea. Most blessed of women be Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Deborah said that a woman was going to get the credit for this. And she is. Not her, though. She wasn't talking about herself. She's talking about this lady, Jael. Most blessed of women be Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. Most blessed of tent-dwelling women. He asked for water, and she gave him milk. In a bowl fit for nobles, she brought him curdled milk. Her hand reached for the tent peg, her right hand for the workman's hammer. She struck Sisera. She crushed his head. She shattered and pierced his temple. At her feet he sank. He fell. There he lay. At her feet he sank. He fell. Where he sank, there he fell, dead. Through the window peered Sisera's mother. Behind the lattice she cried out, "Why is his chariot so long in coming? Why is the clatter of his chariots delayed?" Now we know that a woman wrote this poem. I don't think a guy would ever think to do this. A guy, Barak, or any other male commander, is not going to sit around thinking about what the mother of his enemy is thinking about when she wonders why he's taking so long getting home. Okay, that's a clue that Deborah did legitimately compose this song, because no dude is going to think about that. No dude is going to care enough about his enemy's mom to write a verse in his song about her reaction to his death in battle. The wisest of her ladies answers her. Indeed, she keeps saying to herself, are they not finding and dividing the spoils? So they're just taking their time divvying up the spoils of battle. A girl or two for each man? Actually, that means a womb or two for each man. So the women were there as spoils of war to be used as sexual captives after the battle was over. And they knew this, by the way. These are women saying this. Deborah is saying this, and she's imagining what Sisera's mom and her lady attendants are saying. So Deborah knew this. Sisera's mom knew this. The women who attended Sisera's mom knew this. Yeah, they all understood what was at stake for them. Deborah didn't participate in this fight. She was there. I'm guessing she was on top of Mount Hazor watching it as it was happening. But they would have all known what was at stake for them in these ancient wars. They would have not been unfamiliar with that. So here we have a picture that Deborah is painting here of Sisera's mom wondering what's taking him so long in getting home after this battle. And her ladies in attendance are comforting her, saying, he's just taking his time divvying up the spoils of war. They're divvying up the girls, deciding who gets what. And the word they're actually using there is womb. So they're talking specifically about the sexual activities that these female captives are going to be performing for these victorious warriors afterwards. So they knew what was going on. They knew what their part in the whole proceedings were. Colorful garments as plunder for Sisera. Colorful garments embroidered, highly embroidered garments for my neck. So he's getting stuff for his mom. They're also talking about he's getting stuff for you. He's going to bring back colorful garments, embroidered garments for you to wear around your neck. All this as plunder. And so Deborah speaks again here. So may all your enemies perish, O Lord. But may they who love you be like the sun when it rises in its strength. Then the land had peace 40 years.